Okay, I drawn my string. I've drawn my string several times on pages to get them all ready for this week. I've just now switched over to the next day's daily tangle. And I am not sure how I'm going to do this. I'm just gonna tackle it like the way I tackle everything else. But as I'm looking at this pattern, it's not a pattern. It just isn't. It's not a Zentangle pattern. And so, you know, I'm sorry to Victoria. It's a beautiful step-by-step on how to draw an orchid. Don't get me wrong. I think that's really kind of cool. However, it's not Zentangle-y. I won't be able to reproduce it. You know, if I draw it 1 or 2 times and go away and come back and try to draw it again, I won't be able to reproduce it without looking at the step outs. And so that for me makes it less Zentangle-y. However, we're going to give this a go. First step is to do a small little U-like shape, tiny. Right? Next is to do these sort of petal things, which, see, to me would be 2 different steps. To me it would be, I don't know if you draw this first and then this, or if you should draw this first and then that, but anyway, that's the next step. And then number 3 is sort of a boxy looking thing here. And then 4 is this. See, I would have done them as separate, like one like that, and then this. I don't know. But, and then there's these little wings. And then there's this little triangle thing on the top. Looks like that when they're done. So, yeah, yes, you can make a lovely little bouquet with some flowers in it, but to me they're not very zen-y. And I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to do this in my string. That's my other issue. I turned it over and I looked at it and went, ugh. And since I went, ugh, I had this feeling. Excuse me, deep in my gut, that it's not what I want to do. So, I think in order to use my string wisely, what am I going to do? If I put let's do that. Let's put one of these shapes in this general area, and I'm going to put one of these shapes in this general area. I'm going to try to draw 2 of them, and I may even draw a 3rd one here, but for sure I'll draw one sort of there and one sort of here. And then from this round thing, I'm going to create something that goes up and in and with it. It's not going to be part of that tangle. Well, I'm just going to start here and see what I end up with. So I need to do a little kind of a U-ish shape. I think I even need to zoom in because it's going to be very... Okay, let's try not to move my page too much. Okay, and then above that there's kind of like an eyebrow. And then coming from here, it goes down and up. See, that's why I think I would do it in different steps. I have no problems drawing a flower. I don't mind the idea of drawing a flower. It's just not Zentangle, that's all. And occasionally we will encounter a pattern that's not really Zentangle. And then kind of here and wing-like here and wing-like. And then on top of here is kind of a triangle, like that. And it's pretty. I like it. It's just not something I could reproduce easily, that's all. Without always having to refer back to the original drawing. And then there's, what shape was that again? See, that's the thing. I have to keep looking. I'm more like sketching than I am drawing a pattern. It's more like just following a sketch. Sort of a wing like that and like that. Okay, maybe I'll do a third one. Like this, that. Right, and then there was, what part's next? This part. That, and then there's something that comes out and down and out and down, and it's kind of back there. And then there's a wing that kind of comes out here, and it would go behind there, and you wouldn't really see it. And something like that, and you really wouldn't see that. And then a little piece that comes up here. Okay, so, oh, I went way off because I forgot that you were zoomed so close. I hope that all wasn't like completely off the screen, but it probably was. I apologize. So now I've drawn 3 of them, and then I'm going to use this to really reinforce this shape. Maybe come up. Yeah. I feel like this needs another. See, this muka shape I can draw without going and finding the step out to muka. That's this one right here, where it comes around, it's got a curve, and it comes back on itself like this. I can just draw that organically without thinking about it. It's an organic shape, the flower's an organic shape, but I have to think about it too much. So it's okay. It's just, I didn't spell that right. I forgot the C. Well, that's gonna bug me more than anything else. That all right. Drawing was fine, but that part came out bad. So, you know what we're going to do? We're just going to cover that up all in black. It's a little awkward shaped. Let's try to make that a little more square. And then I'm going to get my white pen. And give it a little go so it starts writing. All right, so I wrote it in white on black instead. These white pens just, it's really hard to write white on black. You have to go over it a couple of times. There we go. And then you have to be careful not to smear. Okay, this one needs color. It got drawn really, really, really fast. It needs color. And I'm going to erase all of this scribbly stuff I did. Try to stay away from my white so I don't smear it. Get rid of my string. Okay. But I still have that sort of swirly thing here for the string. And that kind of squarish shape here for the string. See how strings work? You don't have to follow exactly line for line where the string is. It's a guideline. It's a suggestion. A string is not like a concrete sidewalk. It's not a path. It's more like a flowing bit of gravel and dirt and sand where you can see sort of a movement, but you don't have to go that way. That's more what a string is. How do I want to color these? Let's get out my Prismacolors, and I'm just gonna pick some colors. We're gonna start with this one. And these orchids are gonna just be whatever color I feel like. You know what? I need to sharpen my pencils. And let's put a little pink in that one. And go over the top. I always layer when I do my colored pencil work. I think maybe this one's gonna have a little yellow in the middle. Yeah, you think yellow? Yellow will look good. Pink and yellow always looks good. We're gonna go with this kind of bright yellow. Okay. And of course you can't see what I'm doing because I've gone completely off the screen again. Okay, I need to turn my camera a little so I can get this more where I want to hold it, because when I color I definitely hold it differently than when I'm drawing. Alright, let's try that. See if you can see that better. Okay. I need, on this next one, I need more yellow. But I think I need two different kinds of yellow. I think I need that yellow and my lighter yellow. More lemony yellow. Then they're going to have, this one is going to have a, going back to the pink. I feel like it still needs pink. Nice thing about flowers is they can be whatever you want because they're flowers, as long as they're not an unnatural color. Like I've never seen there's very few black flowers, but you know, purples or reds, or very few green flowers, but there are some green flowers. So, you know, you can just do whatever you feel like. And I'm gonna do little yellow on this one, and then I'm going to switch over to a purple. I like this purple. I'm going to add some of this purple into here, so that the flowers are all cohesive by having just a little bit of the same color throughout. Even though it looks totally different on each flower, if I have the same color over there, it is going to catch like the reflections and things. And it'll read similar. Okay. And then the other purple. Or do I want to do Tuscan red? What's Tuscan red look like? It's kind of dark. Maybe I just want to do just a little bit of that. That's almost too dark. Maybe I'll do that down here. In the shadows. Okay. So then I want purpley blue, purple. Yeah. That purpley color in there too. Okay. Blender. Sharpen my blender a little bit. And I'm just using what's called a colorless blender. If you guys have never seen that, it's basically the same core as the regular color pencils. It just doesn't have any color in it. It's just clear. But you can use it to smooth and blend, and it deepens the colors. See how it deepened that color? I think it's really pretty. And it's just one of the things I like to use. There's other things you can use to blend your colored pencils. Depends on which kinds you're using, but the more expensive ones blend better than the less. Doesn't mean that they can't blend, it just means that they blend better. I've used Vaseline, believe it or not. It actually works pretty well. It's softer. Oops, I kind of smeared. That's the one thing I don't like, is that it will smear. And if I started with the dark color, and I probably shouldn't have, because now the tip of my pencil is a little, got the dark on it, so I'm going to just run it real quick through my pencil sharpener. And that way I don't bring that dark purple where I don't want it. And then I'll need to get some green out. You guys don't really need to watch me color, but you can if you want. I'm just going to continue because, you know, I want to be finished with the tile. I don't want to just leave it half done. I don't know if I want to put green or if I just want to do the stems in like black and white. No, that would look funny. My colors are too bright for it to be just completely black and white. But what I might do is I might get out my gray marker for shading and shade the stems with my marker instead of pencil. Or maybe I'll just make a drop shadow with the pencil. Maybe I'll do that. See, I just talk out loud and do my thing as I'm drawing. I'll do a little bit of lime green in the front. Okay, and this one. Okay, and then we'll do sort of a medium green as a second color in there. I'm a proponent of having at least 2 colors in everything, just because your eye never sees just one flat color ever. Even if something is a flat color, the way the light hits it creates a shadow, and it's never ever ever a flat color. So I try to have more than one color in everything that I do. Just to give it some variety. And then I think just a teeny tiny bit of the darker green right where it overlaps, instead of where I would normally put the graphite. I'm going to put this darker green, and that will emphasize those darker spots, shadows. Okay, and then bit of blending pencil, a little colorless blender. I'm gonna blend that around a little bit. Pop those colors out. Okay, that works. And then do I need, sorry, I'm just gonna wipe that off because I don't want to do it with my hand. I'm just gonna smear it. Do I want any shadow? I do. I'm gonna do a little drop shadow. So my sun is going to be coming from here. So I want a little bit of shadow under here and under here, right? And then on this side and on this side, just thinking about where the light would not be. This side. And I can really see much there. That it would be darker here, a lot darker here. This side would have shading, and this side. Okay, I'll just blend that in, and then we'll be done. I think that will be enough. A little bit there. I missed a spot that would be dark over here. All right, that was kind of what it needed. I need a little bit here. Okay. Pretty. Well, it's a pretty, I mean, you can make a pretty picture with it. You absolutely can. It's just not a tangle. That's all. But it was worthwhile drawing, right? Do I like it that way? Or do I like it that way? No, it goes this way. Okay. There is today's picture. You know what? Go out and give somebody that you love some flowers today. That's your task for today. You don't have to spend a lot of money. Go out in the garden and pick one flower. It's spring, almost spring, but spring enough. Most places have things blooming. I can't say all because, you know, you may live somewhere where it snowed again. I just saw somebody who posted that it just snowed again. So you may not have any flowers, but, you know, if you have access to a flower in your garden, run outside, pick one flower, put it in a little glass of water or a bud vase, and give it to someone you love. Have a great day. I will see you tomorrow.